And okay, I hope you can see my screen, right? Okay, so looping concept is required when you have to repeat any particular uh, stuff you wanted to do it again and again. In that case, loop comes into the picture, and loop plays an important role when you are supposed trying to perform a same kind of check, maybe same kind of thing with lots of input, right? So in that case, loop is required. So Python support two kind of loop. One is called while loop, another one is called for loop. Okay, so and the another one is called for loop. Now while loop, we so for the while loop we call it indefinite loop. Okay, and for loop like for loop we call it finite loop. So what do we mean by indefinite loop and finite loop? Is like indefinite means this loop, particular loop, you can run it infinite times. Means there is no limit how many times you can run it. Means there you can put a thousand limit, more than thousand, or maybe like there is no limit at all. So we can call it like there will be unlimited loop with that while loop. That's why we call it indefinite loop, right? For loop, there is always a fixed number of loop. There is always a fixed number of repetition. That's why for loop is called finite loop. Both have their plus and minuses, and these two used a lot. So we'll quickly check how while loop is working, and then we'll go for a for loop as well. So let's say we haven't seen one kind of data type called list. So just treat it as of now. These are like a collection of multiple values. Think of it as of now. So let's say suppose this is a variable and I'm putting some values in it. We will, so next session, like we will be seeing what list is. So as of now, just treat it as this is a variable, okay, which have multiple values. Okay, so this number have multiple values in it, and I wanted to see, suppose, how many numbers are even and how many numbers are uh, odd. Okay, I wanted to segregate it. Okay, so how you have to do, so how while what, so there is a syntax for while loop, and how what is that syntax is some that will somewhat look like this. So first let me run this. So while syntax is while, then there will be a condition, and this condition to check. Okay, this must be true. Okay, to enter into the while block, then it will go inside a block. So block one, or not block actually, line of code one, line of code two, and so on. So this is, oh sorry, so this is a kind of the syntax structure. So while always start with a condition check. Okay, and then it will go for like whatever the stuff you wanted to do in that while loop. Okay, so let me do one thing. So what I'm going to do is so condition to check. Okay, so let me see. So this is the list, and I wanted to know I have to write a while loop for this. So we have to write a condition. Okay, So a simple condition will be like, what is the length of this condition, like length of this data type. So quickly let's check. Len number, that will be 9. Okay, and let's start loop. So I'm creating a variable called I equal to 0. Okay, now what I'm saying, while I is less than equal to less than 9. Okay, okay, I'm going for a wrong output. Okay, so here what I'm saying, like I is always start with 0, while I is less than 9. Let me print I only. Okay, and I have to increment the value as well. So I have to do two conditions, two stuff. What I'm doing first, the very first is the variable initialization. Initialization we call it, like from which point you wanted to start. In the while loop, I have put a condition. You can put a bracket as well, that will also work. Okay, so like whether that's true or not, then you are performing a action. Okay, so here I'm printing I only, or maybe let's say suppose I into I, so it will be I square. Okay, and then I'm incrementing that value. Okay, so let's run it. If I run it, if you see, it's printing 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and so on. And how it is working, let's see. First it started with 0, so obviously 0 is less than 9. That's true, the condition is true. Now it is come inside. What I'm printing, I into I. Okay, so that's 0. And then the next, it go next, I, the value of I will be incremented. Okay, so value of I incremented by 1. Okay, so it's now the I value is now 1. Now again it will, the control will go back to again check here in the while start. Okay, it will again go here, it will check the value of I, which is 1 now. Okay, is less than 9. Yes, it will go on. Then the in the next loop, it is I equal to I plus 1, so it is 1 plus 1, then 2, and so on. So if you see here, let me put one more thing here. Let's say I. Okay, now that's better now. So 0, 0, then the I value is 1, then obviously I into I is 1, then the I value is 2, then 2 into 2 is 4, 3, 9, and all that. 9. Okay, last point came here, 8. So once 8 came, obviously 8 will be printed here, 864. That's fine. Okay, 864, that's fine. Now what's happening? Now in the last loop, I's value will be 9. Okay, in the last loop, I will be 9. Now it will go back again and here check the condition. Is 9 is less than 9? Obviously the condition is false and our while loop stops. Okay, so here what we have done, we have put a kind of a definition such a way, like while loop condition must be false somewhere, otherwise loop will never stop. Okay, so let's quickly check that as well. Suppose I am picking the same scenario. Okay, but what I'm doing here now, I'm putting, there is no condition. Suppose I'm putting here, let me comment it out. Okay, if I put a sharp sign before it, so it's committed, so this will be not a Python code now. Okay, so now what happening, I is 0. Just check I is less than 9 or not. It is yes, it is. Then it will print this value and then go back again, because this time the ith value 0 is not being incremented, right? Incremented means we are not adding 1. What will happen, the value of I will always be 0, right? In that case, what will happen, this condition is kind of always true, because 0 is always less than 9. And if I run this, see what happened, let's keep running. And if you see here, I have started here somewhere, right? See, it's keep running, it will keep running. Okay, so that's why we call it infinite loop. Let me stop it. Okay, that's why we call it infinite loop, because this condition always kind of become true, always happen to true, and then it will keep going on. So and due to this nature also, like always true nature also, this features we use a lot, this feature, and how we use it we'll see next. But suppose, okay, so that's how the while loop work. We can write the same thing, the infinite loop, this way as well. So while just write it down true, because while the condition must be true to enter it. So if I put while true and this, then obviously this is kind of in that case it's not uh, uh, one sec, let me put here y equal to 0. Okay, so what will happen now? Condition is always true, so it will keep running, but I have put a I equal to I plus 1, so it will keep incrementing. So let's run it. So if you see 0 1 1 1 2 4, and if I go on, you can see it's keep running, right? Somewhere it reached till 1000 to 2000, something like that. Okay, so it will keep running because I have put a while condition as true here, so it is always true. Okay, so let me stop this as well. It's, oh,
Hi, so sorry
yeah,
to interrupt.
yeah.
I was wondering, is your screen fuzzy or it's just on my screen? I'm not able to read the numbers correctly. It's not
uh,
clear. I'm
these
not sure if
numbers,
others are facing the same thing or it's
guys,
just my screen.
what about others?
I can see it fine.
Okay.
I
uh
can see it also.
okay, miss, other than Joe, you guys are able to see properly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try and log in again. Thank you.
So so like this is how while loop is used. Let's see, if I put while false, the condition is false. If I try to run it, and obviously because I have put condition as false, obviously that means the control, the Python control will not go inside. It will not execute this because condition is false. Okay, so that's why this, due to this true and false nature, while loop is called infinite loop. Okay, oh, I have put indefinite, so my bad, it's infinite loop. Okay, uh, so okay, so and this nature we will use. How we will use it, let's see. Let's suppose I wanted to write a quick program. Okay, where what I'm asking is this. Let's say user input. Okay, and I'll say suppose input, and I'll put suppose enter a number. Okay, and here I'm going to put press Q for quit. Okay, now what's happening, this will pop up, it will ask user like please enter a number. Okay, in bracket I have give a guideline. Suppose if you wanted to end it, press Q. Okay, now let's do what we are going to do. So while true, now I'm going to take benefit of true statement. Okay, so I'm making it true, but I'm going to check first. What I'm going to check, if user input is double equal to Q, okay, then there is a statement called break statement. What it will do, break statement will, one sec, let me enter a statement as well. User has user want to quit, hence quit. Okay, and break, what break will do, break in Python, break is actually where whenever a Python interpreter hit break, it will exit from that block or loop. Okay. Else print if user has entered now. What's happening here? Understand this program, a very small program. What it is saying, I'm asking enter a number. If suppose user have entered a number, then suppose it a user have entered 4, something like that. Okay, so it will check if that number is equal to q. Obviously not. Then it will go to else block. Okay, when it will go to else block, it will print this line: user has entered and then particular number. Okay, and it will keep going on, because if you see here, the condition is true, always true. So if I run this, let's see, let me run it. So it is asking enter a number, press q to quit. I have entered suppose 1 and press enter. Okay, and something is it's going into, why it's went into infinite loop. One sec, something is not right. Oh, my bad. Why it went into infinite loop is this. The reason is this, because I am asking very first time. So see, here I have made one mistake. What mistake I have made? Let's see. I have asking here like enter a number, and user have entered a number, so I have entered as 1. Okay, and then I came into the loop condition, and then obviously this skip part is skipped, and it print user had entered 1. Now it will go back to again true, because here the condition is true, always true. Okay, that's why it is not asking me what is the user input, and it will keep going to else part, because user input is never changing. So just now you have seen, that's why where you should need to put logic is very important. Okay, so and that's why if you see it went into an infinite loop, it is keep printing the same line, user has entered 1. The reason is the user input is never being changed. So let's move this line from here to here. I have put now the same statement inside the while loop. Okay, so what will happen now? Every time it will ask. So let me run it. So enter a number. Let me put suppose 9. So user has entered 9, and if you see it again asked me use enter a number, because now what happened after printing the line user has entered number, it go back again, the condition is always true, and I'm asking again what is the number. Let's say I have this, so user has entered 333. Again it is asking, let's say 111, again it is 1. And let's print this time q. I am fed up by entering the numbers, let's press q. As soon as I have pressed q, what will happen now? User input will be q. It will like validate this, satisfy this condition, q double equal to q, yes. Then it will print like user want to quit, hence quitting, and that is what you are seeing here. Okay, and then break. Break, what it will do, it will exit from this loop. Okay, so just now you have seen how we can take benefit from infinite loop. Okay, so this is an example of infinite loop. We can write down the same thing with a slight difference. Okay, so one more thing I just wanted to say here. You can write down the same logic, same code in multiple ways. So I'm going to reshuffle this program little bit here and there, and the same functionality will be present. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me quickly copy this. So okay, it doesn't make any sense to make it true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this condition here. Okay, while user input now does not equal to Q. Okay, I have put user input does not equal to Q. Okay, input user. Now I can remove this part easily. And let's say here, let's start from suppose. Okay, so if I run this, what will happen? Press Q for Q. Okay, suppose 12. Okay, fine. 45, fine. 88, fine. Fine. Q. Okay, but if you see, the functionality, the logic is same, but there is a slight difference. The slight difference is here what happening if user has entered Q, so it is not at all entering inside the value. Okay, that's why you cannot put a last statement, whatever we are putting here, right? So okay, sorry. Okay, you can see when we have entered Q here, this went into this part, if part, and then we have a statement which says that user want to quit, hence quitting. But in this scenario, that's not possible. Okay, so Python program, another way to do so. And one more thing I just wanted to highlight here. So the number of lines matters in any coding. It doesn't matter whether it's Python or any other language, because if you see, every line kind of is either a statement or a comparison or a conditional check. So the number of conditional check, suppose comparison, matters to the speed of a program. We are writing here a very small program, it doesn't matter as such, but when we are writing a big programs, the speed matters. Okay, the number of checks matter, because suppose if I ask you to check a number with suppose 10 conditions, and there is another program which is checking only with one condition, one check is happening, obviously one check will be faster. That's why we have to, like, first the focus would be first write down the code or logic to implement the task, and then from there you can go for like how you can optimize it, how you can put it into a better way. Okay, so there is a better way which we have done here, but by putting it here this way, we lose the last statement which says user wanted to quit, hence quitting. Okay, so Python gives another functionality for that, is else part. Okay, remember there will be while with else. Okay, and this else will execute when it will simply skip this part. So let's see. So I'm putting here bye bye. Okay, that's something. Okay, so now it is asking enter a number. Let's see, 12, 14, 45 and Q. Okay, and this time you see I had control on that part. Now bye bye, right? So the same program we can write multiple ways. You can see in simple terms, the structure of a Python, structure of a while loop is while the condition to check. To execute the code block, it should be true, then it will go inside the code block. Okay, now the another check is break statement. Okay, break statement will exit from the loop concept. Okay, now there is another key, and we have seen the else keyword. Why this is called while and else. Okay, So let me write it down. So this is called while and else. Okay, so there will be only single else with that. So while, and when while will be finished, then the else will be executed at last. Okay. Obviously we have seen the infinite loop logic, and always remember one thing: whenever you are trying to work around the infinite loop logic, always put a kind of condition which will break the loop. Otherwise your loop will never be exited. Okay, and your program will keep running, and that is very system exhaustive. So that is very much required, and that is why if you see, if you are using any infinite loop, there must be a break logic as well. So this is the break logic. If user input is q, then I should break. There is another term called continue. While continue, and how continue work? Continue, as a name says, continue. So let's quickly check that as well. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write while true. Again, I'm writing a while what I'm saying, infinite loop. Okay, and then I'm copying this simple. User is q. Oh, sorry. In while true, I'm asking user input. Okay. Now if if user input double equal to q, then print bye bye and break. Okay, so this condition will break, like exit from the loop. Else, now in else part, what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to convert this user input, okay, so to integer, because remember why I'm converting this. Whatever the user is entering, it doesn't matter whether it's an integer or a string or whatever. Input always treat every entered value, input value, as a string, and that is why I'm converting it into a int integer type, because I'm going to perform a condition check on this number. Okay, so what I have done here, like else num equal to, I have converted this. Okay, then I'm going to check do let's remove that part. If num %2 is double equal to 0, so what's happening here? I'm checking whether that's an even. Okay, print it's even number. Okay, so let's say first, suppose if I press q, obviously that will be exit, because as soon as this condition will be checked, this will press enter, like print bye bye, and it will break the loop. Okay, now so it is not going ahead. If you see here, it is not going ahead, it simply skipped the whole this section. Let's run again. Let me print 12. Okay, so it's a even number. Now what happened when I have entered 12? It obviously converted into integer type, and it's checked whether it's a even or odd, and then it's printed this. Suppose if I print 13, it will go to the else part as well. Okay, so now it's printed else part. Now I can do, so the same thing can be performed multiple ways. So what I have to do is, like, if I put here rather than this, if I put continue, stop, run it again. Okay, so as soon as I have hit 13, okay, in the 13 case, what will happen? It will come here and it will enter the continue. So continue will say that go to start. So suppose if I write here in this case, suppose if I write this print statement, it's odd number. Okay, so what will happen now? Let's see. In break and continue both, yeah, it's 12, 14, 16, and let's say 13. In 13, even though I have written odd number, else part, it odd number, but it didn't print. Okay, let me print suppose 71. Let me print like 77. It didn't printing that. And if I, as soon as I print 20, it will print that. The reason is when it is going to the else part, okay, so continue, as the name says, it will skip the remaining line of codes, okay, and it will go back to very start of a loop. Okay, so that means as soon as the pointer, the control will come to continue, it will skip this part, the control will again go back to here, and that's why it is never printing its odd number. So remember these things. Break, what will it will do? Break will exit from the loop. Okay, so if I press here Q, it will exit me out. Okay, so I'm out of while loop. But with the continue and obviously break will like skip all the commands, all the line of code, and it will exit from the loop. Continue will also do the same thing. It will skip all the line of commands, but it will continue the loop. So break, as the name says, it will break the loop, and continue will continue the loop, skipping all the further instructions. So these, so while with else, while with continue, while with break, so these combinations you can design your logic. Remember just one thing: while is supporting infinite loop. So if you put any condition which is never going to be false, let's say this. Suppose if this is the condition, okay, while I is less than suppose 0, or let's say greater than 0, print I. And by mistake, suppose if I put I equal to I plus 1, okay, so if you see in this code, what will happen? This will go into infinite loop. Why so? Let's see. I equal to 1, okay, so 1 greater than 0, yes, that's true. So that's true. Print I, obviously print 1, then I will be incremented by 1, so it will be at very first loop, it will be 2, and then again it go back to the while check. So 2 is greater than 0, yes, then it will be 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, and so on. So in this scenario, if you see, this condition will always true. Okay, it is always true. Okay, so what will happen? This will be a disaster infinite loop. It's going on, right? So whenever your loop, and you can take benefit, so you can take benefit of this as well. So suppose if you have to use that kind of logic, suppose, okay, so you have to put a break logic as well. Okay, so let me put a condition here only. Okay, so if suppose I is double equal to 20, and I'll say break. I have put a break logic. Now what will happen? It will keep continue. As soon as the value of I will be 20, it hit the break statement, and that means 1 to 19. Because here what will happen when 19 will come, I equal to 19 plus 1, that is 20, and then it will go inside this condition, 20 double equal to 20, yes, and then it will break it. So always remember, whenever you are utilizing our infinite loop, always put a break. Otherwise, your program will be crashed and it will keep continuing. Okay, so this is how while loop work. Now moving to the second loop, that is called for loop. Okay, for loop is almost same, but that's called a finite loop. Okay, finite loop means uh, it always runs with a specific repetition, specific number of repetition. So loop number, the number of loops must be fixed in this case. Okay, so number of, you can see here as well, we can put the similar condition here as well. I'm not saying in the while loop you cannot put a limitation on the loop, you can, but so while loop you can use both ways, with finite number and with infinite number, both ways. But with the for loop is always number of loop will be always fixed. Okay, so how we have to do it? So let's before starting to that, let me quickly give you a Python function, a quick function that's called range. Okay, so if you go to range 9, suppose, okay, so that means this will generate number from 0, 1, dot 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 till 9. Okay, and this is being used a lot whenever we are going for a for loop concept. Okay, so let's quickly check here as well. So you can see here 0 to 9, 8 is 0 to 8, sorry, last will not be repeated here. So it will be, so it's always a start from, if only one number is given, it is start from 0 and end with like till 9th value, so that means n minus 1, that is 8. Okay, there is another way of this function, which is where you can put a start value as well. So let me put like 12, we start from 12 and let's go till 25. Okay, so 12, 13, 14 until 24. So last will not be there, remember that. Okay, and there is another method. One more condition is that you can put a jump. Okay, so let me put like 3 and let me here put like 1. So 1 to 25, but with 3 jumps. So you can see here, so how the number is being generated. First one is 1, jump of 3 is 4, again 3 jump 7, 10, 13, 16, 19 and 22, and it will not hit the last number, that's why it stopped at 22. Okay, so so this function used a lot in Python, and this is why like I quickly shown you here. So let's start how for loop work. Okay, so for the syntax of this is this. So for variable in, here it will be like loop values. Okay, and then you can do whatever you wanted to do inside it. Okay, so let me try it out. So for I, or suppose let's say x, for x in range, I'm putting like suppose 23 to 34 colon print x. So what's happening in this code, in these 2 line of code, this range will return you actually a number of a list of numbers. Okay, what it will do, it will take one value, assign it to x, and then you can perform your stuff. Then it will go back again, it will take the another value, assign to x, print x, and so on. But as I told you, for loop is always fixed. Okay, so the number of loop is always fixed. So if I do that, so it is printing x, so it started from 23 to 33. Okay, and if I simply check here, 23 to 34, So this is the value. Okay. So if what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace this quickly. So I'm going to take this. Means it doesn't matter we have to generate this way or this way. This way as well. This will also the same. You can do this as well. The good thing about for loop is you can choose anything. So I'm going to put like suppose apple okay. So with while loop, there is mostly you have to use a looping around a numbers. But with for loop, this is the beauty of for loop. With for loop, you can directly run on a kind of a list of values. You can directly use those values. Okay, so x in, so if you see the looping, how the looping works here, so it will first assign apple x equal to apple, then it will print. Obviously, that apple will be printed. Then it will go back again. Then x will be assigned with baby. Baby is printed. Then again print x, and then so on. Okay. If I'm going to run this again this way, this time I'm going to quickly modify a few things. Okay. So you see, value is apple, baby, cat, dog, egg. And because this value, the range, the check value, like what values we have to assign is going to be always fixed. That is the reason for loop is called. For loop is always a finite loop. Okay, there is always a fixed number of looping. Okay, so this is the for loop, and the previously we have seen break statement, continue statement, and else statement. All those three statements apply here as well. So let's quickly check those. Okay, so let me put here. I'm going to put here, suppose if x double equal to, suppose I'll say cat, then I'll say break. Okay, one condition. Then I'm putting like if x double equal to dog, I'm putting here continue. Okay, and last here I'm printing x. So any idea, anyone wanted to guess what will be the output of these statements?
Apple, baby, cat.
Apple, baby, cat. Okay, let's see. It's only apple and baby. Cat will be not printed. The reason is, as soon as it will hit cat, the statement is break. And remember that what break will say, break will skip all the remaining statement, and it will exit from the loop. So it will never, the loop, the pointer, the control, the Python control will never reach here. So as soon as pointer come here, it will get exited. So let's quickly, let me do it like suppose, make it egg. So not here. Let me here say xxxx. Okay. In that case, what will be the output? In this scenario, please feel free to guess. It doesn't matter wrong or right. Okay. So in this case, what will be the output?
It's apple, baby, cat, dog, egg.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. In this case, what will happen? Let's see. Why the dog is not being printed? The reason is the continue statement. see how the control works. So suppose your control is here. Okay. I'll click on it. Okay. Control is here. It will pick one value apple, and obviously apple doesn't equal to these many access. So it will never be break. So if in simple terms, if I have to say this condition is never gonna satisfy, because we can see here, right? There is no like these many access value. So this condition is never going to satisfy. So we can say kind of not kind of, this will never execute. That's it. And the loop will never break, obviously, because if condition will never satisfy, so it's never break. Break means it will not come out of loop. Now coming to the dog section, when x double equal to dog, okay, so this whenever this condition will be true, okay, so that means dog double equal to dog, what will happen? It will go inside this if code block. Code block says continue. Okay. And remember what continue means. Continue means skip remaining line of code and go to start of loop. Right. So as soon as x equal to dog will be hit, this will do continue. So the pointer will not reach here. It will simply go back here at very start, and it will pick another value that will be egg. Okay, and that is why you see so remember that break will skip all the remaining line of code and come out from the for loop. So it is like you are going round and round, and someone called you out, and you simply like break out from that looping concept. Okay, continue.
Question.
Yeah.
So it will always pick up the X value it is picking up. Will it always be from left to right, or it will pick up a random value? That's first question.
No.
And second question is,
yeah,
why will it continue with egg when it says continue and it goes back to the line of code? Will it not start again with apple?
No. So okay, so simple understood. One thing, the very first answer, it always start from left to right. Okay, so it's always start from apple, baby, cat, and so on. Okay, it's never start from backward. Okay, one thing. The another thing, continue means whatever you are doing right now, just leave it and go back to the next value. Okay, so when it is going back to so no, I should say like go to next value in loop. Okay, rather than go start to loop. Okay, so it will simply go to next value, whatever the next value is there. Okay, let me put one more thing. Suppose if I put this and egg here, so this time egg will also be something is wrong. Okay, identification problem. Okay, so egg will also be not printed. If I print here, suppose xx, then xx will be printed. Okay, if I print here 0, 9, 12 and run it, all will be printed, but these two values will be skipped. Okay, so 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 the break and continue work this way. Okay, so break, exit from the loop and skip all the later statement. Continue will always like be in the loop, but will skip all the remaining instructions, but it will keep continue the loop. Okay, so the similar pattern, suppose if I'm asking user to enter a number and printing that number if it's a even number, else I'm not printing, I'm asking it again. How can I do that? Again, there is so many ways to do it, but we are going to quickly see. And remember that for loop, as I say, is finite. Okay, so let me do this. Suppose for I in, okay, I again a variable, range 4. Okay, so I in range 4, yani that means this loop is going to run 4 times, and what value will be assigned to I is starting from 0, 1, 2, and 3. These 4 values assigned. Okay, and I'm asking input from user. Okay, this time suppose input, enter a number. Now I'm changing that to integer. Okay, now I'm putting if inp %2 double equal to 0, print inp input, and else go back to this simple statements. Okay, if I run this, it's asked enter a number. If I print 1, it will ask again enter a number. If I print 1 again, ask again, let's say print 4, it will print. If I enter a number 8, print, and as you can see, the loop ran 4 times and it will exit from there, right? You can simply see here. So with for loop, you can only run a fixed number of loops, like a full fixed number of repetition, right? With for loop, we have seen break and continue. Okay, but here with else, we can print a last statement, and what it will be look like is this: for and else. Remember that the indentation, see, the for and else indentation is same. Okay, else print you are done with your tries. Okay, so now what will happen? Enter a number 89, obviously, because I'm only printing a number when it is even. Okay, else I'm simply going back to the loop. 22, yes, 20, okay, 13, and the last, as soon as it will go like out of this loop, so, and this will print you are done with your tries. Okay, so in simple terms, if I say in both cases, like in for loop as well as in while loop, else will be executed at very last, okay, after the loop is end, okay, without any break. Okay, so remember that. So so that way, like else will be executed. So this is how like for loop works. Once again, while can support both ways, like infinite and finite, and for loop is always finite. But suppose, and most of the scenario, if you see in like programming area, most of the scenario we always have to run a finite number of loops. It's not like you have to run 1,000 or 2,000 times, right? It is always a fixed number of loop. So suppose if you know I have a fixed number of loop, it's always advisable to use a for loop. But suppose if you wanted to utilize a while infinite scenario, then you can go for a while loop for sure. Both are good enough loop. You can use this and that. You can go for a similar kind of functionality with both loop. It's just that with the for loops, it's very easy to go around with list. So as you have seen here, like you can go for a list as well. So I'll quickly show you one more step. Suppose for C in okay, suppose this. So that's the beauty with the for loop. So it doesn't matter whether it's a number or a string or a number of strings, you can run for loop on those. With while loop, the same output, no doubt, you can create this same output but that's little tricky. So again, I'm going to show you how it will be done in while loop, but I'm damn sure it will be not like easily understood. But so let me quickly show you how it will be look like. Okay. You see the 2 line of task. Okay, this is 2 only. Something I messed up. And what I have messed up here is I didn't put an increment logic. So remember this thing, okay? Increment logic should always be there. Means it should break. Okay. So if you see A to N, it printed, and for loop is also printed A to N. Okay. So I'm not saying things are not possible in while loop, but if you know there are fixed number of loop, always go for a for loop rather than a while loop, because a while loop is looking for some other stuff, like it always requires an increment or a decrement logic. Suppose your condition is always getting true, means it is always true. Suppose you will go inside a infinite loop. That's why it's preferable to use a for loop. Go to while loop only in case of you are looking for an infinite loop. Okay, so this is about loop, for loop and while loop. These two loops used a lot in Python. Lot means a lot. In every other logic, these two loops are used. Okay, so try to understand it. I have already uploaded the files for these loops, for loop as well as while loop, and I have put try to put a more detailed. Okay, so but suppose if you are still not able to get anything specific, just let me know. I'll try to explain it. So you can simply copy paste these value. Just remember identation whenever you are copying pasting the code from here to somewhere else. Remember the identation. Identation means the space, okay, a block space, so that it will run easily and properly. So this and I'll put few problems as well for if and while loop. So as of now only if problem is there, so I'll put for both while loop and if loop, for loop. So yeah, this is all for these. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let me stop the recording.